Hello everyone, my name is Will. I'll be playing Super RubberRoss World today. So one of the new features in Mario Maker 2 is the Super World, which lets you make a collection of your own levels into your very own Mario game. So I'll be playing RubberRosses today, one of the most notorious makers for very difficult Mario Maker levels. So see how fast I can beat him. Time starts when I enter this first level in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so Ross started making this back in 2020 during the pandemic, and I was just really intrigued by the challenge, so I tried speedrunning it, and it was a lot of fun. I've been practicing and improving ever since. So you hit the hidden block there. I'll explain why in just a second. It gives you this cursed key, which spawns in Phanto, this angry mask guy. Right. You might get in the way here. Let's see. Okay. Play that a little safe, but that's fine. All right, so when I think about speedrunning this, there's a few main things to think about. Obviously, don't die is the main one. Then there's lots of unintended strats and speedrun skips you can do. But then one of the things you don't see too often is outside of in-game time is actually like things on the map or after the flag. So right here, you see I got the cursed key from that hidden block, which actually lets me go through this key door right here after the flag, so I'm not controlling Mario anymore, but he goes through the key door, which actually speeds up the cutscene. If you don't get the key, he'll wait outside the door there and waits an extra second before you get this course clear screen. So this next one is called Lead the Lads. It's one of the, I'd say it's a level that embodies the idea of a speedrun skip and unintended strat. So you're supposed to, it's called Lead the Lads. You're supposed to take these pokey heads and there's gonna guide them through the bottom of the level, but I'll show you how it's a lot faster to do it a different way. So this is just telling you to reset, you have to die, but I will not have to do that. So you send Yoshi in there, you can move a lot faster than the pokey heads can. Hit these switches to make sure he's not getting hit on anything. It actually lines up just enough so that he doesn't get crushed by any of these launchers on the tracks there. And he can run across the bottom and hit that note block, which has a key, let me out. So that's about a minute faster than using the pokey heads to go across the bottom for you. All right. So one thing that's nice about running in Mario Maker is it shows you your in-game time after every level clear, so you can compare to your best right there for the in-game time. So this next one's pretty hard. It's early on in the run, so it's fine to be risky, but let's see how it goes. Called Hop, Skip, Jump Scare. I'm the focus here for a second. Okay, that's the first part. Nice. Give you just enough iframes to get past that. Okay. So now we've got another boom boom fight, the first one in the game. And there's a lot more after this, but the fastest way to take care of them is to drop them through the bottom of the screen. So I'll show you in just a second. And right there, it goes below the floor and gives you the key. See a lot more of him in the levels to come. All right, nice. All right, so this next one's called a difficulty spike, but it's a little bit easier than the previous ones. And it introduces a level concept that you'll see plenty of times throughout the Super World. It gives you a unique power-up that you have to keep throughout the rest of the level. This was our first 3D World level. And it gives you the boomerang power-up. So he's going to be hitting these spike balls into the switch like that. and I have to guide this one across the rest of the level. Telling me to bop it. So I make sure to hit these switches. Not let the spike ball break on anything. Hit that last switch twice rather than going up to hit that second one. A little easier that way. And I'll wait for it to roll across and hit that question block at the bottom there. Gives me a key. Alright, and we're already almost done with World 1. The Super World has 40 levels. There's 8 worlds, each with 5 levels. And they all end in a castle with a fight with one of the Koopa kids. This one will be Larry. Larry's lopsided lava lift. It's a pretty tricky level. But, so you'll see in a second, it's a long descent. And there's lava underneath here, so it's kind of just an outer scroll section. The way to make it more consistent is to wait up here on the spike ball, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong if you go to the bottom there. Okay. Easy enough to find a consistent path that will work pretty much every time. If I don't mess anything up. So even though this is a marathon, skipping the checkpoint, it's slightly faster. I don't need it. So the reason I skipped that along with the mushroom at the very beginning of the level, because it's actually very slightly slower to gather the mushroom. The screen freezes for like half a second, and for some reason I just never collect it. That checkpoint also gives you a mushroom, which is why I take the risk and save half a second. But that's World 1. World 2 gets a bit harder. So this first level on World 2 introduces the SMB2 mushroom. It's a pretty interesting power-up. It lets you pick up enemies and ride them that you wouldn't normally be able to. And you also see we have the clear condition, reach the goal as SMB2 Mario, which means I cannot get hit at all, or else the goal will no longer be accessible. Basically, I'm going to be riding these buzzies and hitting them, or throwing them to hit these switches, like right there. Doing a couple slightly unintended stuff here. We'll see in just a second. I'll grab the shell early rather than riding on it the whole way. Just carrying across, and then switch myself. Get through that one pretty quickly. All right, next. So this next one is another level kind of similar. The concept that you have a power-up that you cannot lose. This level is definitely a trouble point for a lot of players when they play this casually. It's an underwater level, for one. It's in the dark, and it's an escort mission that's very long, so it's definitely a tough one for most players. So you have the frog suit. I gotta hold on to it the entire way here. So I guide this flump on a clown car to open the path for me, pushes these spinies out of the way. So you need the frog suit to swim through those twisters like that. So that's part of the reason why you can't get hit at all. You'll see those twisters show up one more time at the end. But for now, we're just going to be guiding this thwomp through the dark underwater labyrinth. One thing you have to worry about are these skewers that you can't really see. So right now I'm going to go ahead, which spawns a skewer that's off screen right now. So now it should be on the way up. You see it's coming up right there. So now I can just go down right away. If you don't spawn it early, then it definitely gets in the way. We're just going to repeat this pattern a few more times. Alright, and here's the last part here. So normally you'd have the Thwomp go ahead and push these spinies out of the way. But you can just have them send you through one hit like that. So those are the twisters right there. If you stay behind the Thwomp, then you can swim across with the frog suit. But it's a little faster to have them push them ahead for you. Now the boom boom fight. Pretty simple, just hit them 3 times. Off to the right there, off camera, there's a couple of sledge bros, the beefy hammer bros that will stun you. If you're on the ground when they slam the ground, they do a stun lock. But I just leave them off screen, they don't get in the way. So if you finally get out of that level, you think, finally, I'm out of the dark levels. What's next? It's another dark level. This one's pretty cool though. Ghost in a shell. It gives you the dry bones shell. It's a very versatile object. You can ground pound with it. You can bounce on enemies. So normally, of course, you would not be able to jump on boos like this. It's actually kind of tough. Get just enough height there, bounce off the boo ring. Still no checkpoint yet. One more tough jump. There you go. So where you can see I'm playing dead like a dry bones. Let the enemies just pass right through me. There you go. Very good. All right, next up, we have a pretty tough level. This is Kamek's Minor Inconvenience. Kind of similar to the idea of the keep a power up the entire way, but this time it's just the regular super mushroom. We're going to be using it to break bricks. If you ever get hit, you're kind of just stuck, so see if I can hold on to it. See these thwomps chasing me from the side. Hopefully they shouldn't be a problem. Okay. So these rocky wrenches, these guys throwing wrenches at me. Their first throw is random, their timing and their height is random. So I'll wait here for that one. So it's a lot of improv, trying to see if you have enough time to hit them before they throw their wrench. That was pretty good. You're getting a mushroom there, even though you can't even get here with that one. So now we have a nice boss fight. Just break those bricks and wait right here, and there he goes. But there's a phase 2. And there he goes. So out of doors like that, you'll see I'll often do a wall jump like that. It's pretty much always faster to get to top speed with a wall jump, faster than just running on the ground. You'll see that a lot in most New Super Mario Bros. Levels. Alright, now we got the next castle. We'll be fighting Roy. This one's pretty tricky. Uses twisters, which are not the most consistent entities. We'll use a stack of a mole with a muncher with a twister. We'll see more of that in a second. And just hope that you can just go right through them. All right, nice. You have the first checkpoint. This is the part that's a bit nerve-wracking. It's just after a checkpoint, so it's okay if I mess it up, but that's what I'm trying to do. Run through the twister there 3 times. Okay, that was good. One more. Nice. All right, now we got the boss. We're going to be fighting Roy. This one's pretty tough. See what pattern he gives us. Part of the reason why these boss fights are hard is because they never do the same thing twice. But they do generally follow some patterns. Okay, nice. That's World 2. Right. All right, now we'll be heading to World 3, which actually is a little bit easier than World 2, I'd say. Ross did not make these in chronological order, so I think World 3 was some of the first levels he made. This first one's pretty fun. One of the shorter levels, you can just hold right the whole time. See if I can pull it off. We saw in the last level twisters on top of munchers. Now we're going to see something else on top of munchers. These sideways springs. Use them as platforms. Nice. Good coin indicators to tell you where it's safe to land. And that's it. All right.
Oh yeah, Mario time.
Next up, we have a pea balloon level. It's a pretty tricky one. Of course, another one that you have a power-up that you cannot lose. If you get hit, you just have to start over. And has the clear condition on top of that. So the goal would not even be available if you didn't have the power-up. Ah. First death there. It's pretty tough to get this movement just right. Pretty hard to hold these 45-degree angles with the tight hallways, but we got it. It's actually generally easier to just go as fast as you can there. That lines up a little bit better. All right, this next one I think is the oldest level in the Super World, the Great Deku Tree. It's a recreation of one of the Zelda dungeons, of course. So I'll be running around showing off the capabilities of the Link power-up. It's a pretty fun one. Shoot arrows. Got the sword. Just trying to race through these rooms as quickly as I can. You actually use the arrow to trigger a P-switch, like so. And, oh. Okay, just in time. Thankfully, they didn't actually lose any time, because you have to wait there anyway for the P-switch to change. So now we'll dive down to the boss. Try to do a skip here. Ah, okay, didn't get it. If you can land with the sword swipe on Boom Boom, you can get him off these tracks early. So you're meant to use, just send a barrage of arrows at him and eventually take him down, but it's much faster to hit with the sword. Or use the bomb like I did there to get him off the track. So what I was trying to do before the boss fight, you could see I was diving down and then I did a cancel. So if you press down, you do a ground pound. Same in New Super Mario Bros. And then if you press up, you cancel your ground pound. And you can use that to do a kind of air stall if you repeat it over and over, down, up, down, up. You'll see that, that kind of movement show up later on in the run as well. So this one's got an auto scroll. It's kind of like a Contra style level, using this clown car. Take out the enemies in front of me. Well, it's a pretty slow one, so if we have any donations, now would be a good time. I'm not sure if we have that available. But I might be alone on the commentary, but that's fine. We'll see in just a second these little rooms called the shop. I'll give you a power-up if you want, but it's a little bit slow, so we'll not be taking up on that. Come up in just a second. So you get in this pipe here. So you can take that shell on the floor and throw it up into one of those blocks, and it'll give you a power-up, but we don't need that. But it is faster to go in the shop, just to move the auto-scroller ahead a little bit. Just get out right away. One thing to be careful about these thwomps. You end up in the wrong spot of the screen, they can send you flying into the left side and crush you. And that's the checkpoint there, so it's pretty punishing to die anywhere in this level because it takes a long time to get back. This part's a little tricky. Get a lot of enemies on the screen. That's pretty good. Alright, so we'll see one more shop room coming up in just a second. Once again, just skipping right through. So we have Boom Boom coming up. Try to get the quick. If you wait right here, we'll line up, get that first hit. We'll follow him down to the bottom of the screen. Number 2. And number 3. Here he goes. Alright, and you'll see the, whenever you see a slope like that, generally it's faster to slide down that. Otherwise, if it's vertical, or if it's forward slope, I'll be jumping past it. It's only faster to slide down those gentle slopes like that. Otherwise, I'll just avoid them. Alright, now we got the third castle. We'll be fighting Morton. And his Miltons. This one's kind of tricky, so I'm going to have to focus here for a second. Outrun a laser beam. Make sure I stay with this skull platform. Alright. So now we got the boss fight, but I'm heavily armed. Get the first hit. And generally, it's faster to use a projectile rather than to jump over, get to him, and hit him in the head. So whenever the chance, I'll be throwing shells at him instead of jumping on him. There we go. And that's World 3. So one of the things to worry about when you're fighting the Koopalings, or the Koopa Kids, is after you've hit them the first time, they'll go into their shell and they'll go back and forth for a while. But the fastest way to get them out of the shell is to actually create as much distance as you can away from them. So if you're right on top of them, they'll try to get away before they come out. So that's another way it's faster to get away and throw a shell from a distance rather than staying close so you can hit them by jumping on them. So here's another level that uses the SMB2 mushroom. It gives you another one right here, so it's okay to miss that one. A little bit of a damage boost. Get the Bonsai Bill as far to the right as you can before you jump up. We need to carry this Bonsai Bill all the way to the end before we can ditch him. And we can just damage boost at the end, because this one does not have a clear condition. One thing to note, if the level does have a clear condition, it cannot have a checkpoint. And now it did have a checkpoint at the before that auto-scroll section. Alright, this next one, Release the Kraken, we're not going to see too much of, unfortunately. We'll see why in a second. I'm going to go down to this pipe to get the Bullet Bill mask. And leave immediately. Ross is not a fan of this level. I think it's alright, but it's a lot faster to just fly across rather than actually go through the underwater section. Pretty easy. If you know about that. Alright, this next one's pretty tricky. It's a night desert level, which means there's going to be wind. And it's pretty tricky. I'll be surrounded by these dry bones. I'll try to create some distance. Okay, nice. So normally they'd be right on top of me, but if you stomp on that back one, it'll be frozen in place for a little while. That makes it much easier. Creates a bit of a gap in between them. But it's also faster for the ending as well, which you'll see pretty soon. So you saw whenever you jump on them, they get frozen in place for a second. So if the dry bones are very close together, you have to use them to make the last jump. And so each jump, they'll get frozen in place and wait there for a second. But instead, I can just wait in this conveyor for a little while and make it in one jump instead of having to use both of them. Okay, next up is the Pyramid of Patience. One of the hardest levels. and I'll not be playing this very patiently. All right, I'm gonna have to focus for this one. It's like a lot of tight jumps. So we get to the top of the pyramid, steal the treasure, now we gotta get back. And it's much harder. Right there I do a kind of funny jump way on that left edge. He spawns that pair of skewers a little bit later, so they don't get on screen right away. Lets me run straight through rather than have to wait for them. Nice. I'm gonna go for a very risky move right here. Okay, nice. No reason to go for that, but it saves 1 second, so gotta go for it. There's no checkpoint since I got the key, so very high risk, low reward, but hey, whenever you can save frames, you go for it.
UnlimitedWill.
Alright, so now we got the fourth castle. So it's more of an airship. We're fighting, what's this? This is Iggy, right? The SS Updog. One of the harder castle levels. So this one of the gimmicks is these alternating switch blocks. You see blue and red changing. So I do a triple jump right there. If you land with no momentum on a triple jump, you'll be frozen in place. I use that to make the timing line up a little bit better. I'll show up one more time later in the run. Okay, nice. So right there I did a ground pound cancel into a wall jump. Get the first checkpoint. Okay, I want to wait for the change jump there. It's random which direction he goes in and blocks my path there. Okay, nice. And that P-switch unblocks those launchers, which will shoot a bunch of shells and get a hit on Iggy and also take care of the chain jump for me. Blow up the airship, and we are halfway through the Super World. It's 4 levels down, or 4 worlds down, 4 to go. So getting to World 5 is maybe a little bit easier than World 4, but still some interesting, challenging levels coming up. This first one, I'll be playing Breakout with the Power Ball, the Fire Flower. So I have to defeat all 26 of these Goombas. One more. There we go. Oh, just missed. Alright, so now we gotta take out Boom Boom using these bombs. If I can get the quick kill. Oh, not quite. There we go. Boom Boom kind of has a mind of his own sometimes, though. Hard to get him to where you go. Hard to get him to go where you want. Alright, next up we have another auto-scroller. This one's pretty tricky. It's called Star Bomb. We have the angry sun that's going to be following us. And light those bombs, which hit the switches. So I have to pay close attention to these bomb timers. It's tough because I have to look away to see where I'm platforming, but also keep track of how long these bombs are lit. Okay. I'm counting the flashes. It's 6 flashes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. A little faster to use the bullet bills to jump across rather than waiting for the switch to change earlier. You see the angry sun lights the bombs on the floor, but out of there before it matters. Alright, next up we got a fan favorite. Climb the beanstalk. We'll be playing Giant Man. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Oh, missed that switch. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, I think that's frame perfect. Get the switch to change the moment I went into the door there. I thought I left early. Oh, okay. It's alright, we just got a checkpoint. Alright, so now we need to guide this clown car and break that brick, see where that arrow is pointing. Shoots a fireball in just the right spot. Opens up the path. Can I get the snipe? That looks good. Nice. Alright. We cleared out whatever blockage or parasites were in that guy's intestines. And we exit. Alright, next up is a pretty interesting level called P is for Purgatory. Basically, we need to avoid all the P switches. They changed those yellow blocks into the dotted yellow blocks. You see Spike, a green guy, hanging out in the middle of the screen, just doing the potty dance. Normally he would throw a spike ball, which would destroy the room, but there's actually a pretty interesting reason why he doesn't throw a spike ball there. It's something called entity limits. So you can only have 100 entities on the screen at once, and the P-switches are part of that limit. So if you ever hit a P-switch, it brings the limit down to 99, which leaves one space left. And then it'll throw a spike ball and destroy the room so you can't pass through. Alright, now we got Ludwig's castle, or airship. It's a pretty tricky auto-scroller. Strategy here is to get him to aim either as high as he can or as low as he can. I'll use the cloud to get the top of the screen. Also trying to avoid the hammers. See if I can hold on to the fire flower. This is the hard part here with the moving saws. I usually do not get very charitable fire shots from him either. Like right here. Oh, okay, nice. Ah, not quite. The very last obstacle. So right here we're gonna fight Ludwig. If you keep him off screen, we don't scroll the camera up, he can't do anything, so he just drops right down. Normally he'd fly across and shoot fireballs from above, but not if he's off screen. I wish I was able to keep the fire flower because you can actually do a bit of a skip. You can actually pick up these bombs from below the floor and throw them at Ludwig to hit him a little bit faster than jumping on his head. But it's still pretty fast. That's World 5. We only got 3 left, 6, 7, and 8. And the difficulty definitely ramps up quite a bit from here. Alright, so first up we got Winter Volleyball. Plenty of puns in this world. So basically we're going to be using this SMB2 mushroom, which lets us pick up snowballs from the ground. And we're going to be playing, well, Spike's going to be playing volleyball, I'm going to be playing dodgeball. Very precise timing here. Okay, just barely got him. We've got to do it 2 more times. Okay. If those snowballs collide, it does not hit him. Nice, okay. If you miss that one cycle, it becomes much harder. This there's not really a consistent setup for trying to recover. And if you ever let a snowball get past you, it can hit one of those switches on the left wall, which blocks you, and you cannot progress any further. All right, next up is Meltdown Mountain, one of my favorite levels. Really showcases the best of Mario's movement. I'm gonna do a triple jump here. Stop myself on a dime. Turn around more quickly. Nice. All right, so now we got this boss fight with Boom Boom. He's got a fire piranha and a launcher that shoots fireballs on his head. What you're supposed to do is wait for him to melt the ground beneath him, and he'll fall into a pit. But you can just barely hit Boom Boom on the head without touching the plant. And the launcher falls down and crushes him in one hit. All right, next up we have a pretty short level. It shows off everyone's favorite object, the Koopa car, but uses it in a pretty fun way. And we got 20 seconds on the timer here. There we go. So the car plus the Bullet Bill mask gives you a tank, plus those orange and yellow dash panels gives you really high speeds. Just fly through that level. All right, next up is one of my least favorite. It's a very hard section coming up here. Another one with the clear condition, so it doesn't have any checkpoints. And we gotta keep this SMB2 mushroom the entire time. So I can use it to get these snowballs out of the ground. Not on those darker squares there, only the lighter ground. And basically we gotta use these one tile wide projectiles as platforms. And if you ever miss, you just have to start over. The other thing I'm doing here is hitting those snow pokies in the head. If you hit them in the body, it'll just get rid of one of the segments, but not the whole thing. A snowball from right there. Hit him in the head. It's a little scary just jumping straight at him, but if you time it right, it works. So right here you see probably one of the biggest time saves. Instead of throwing a dozen snowballs at him, just throw one, and then one more at the head. And we're out of there. That's kind of funny. You can see the key door after the flag once again. This time I did not get the key. It's much slower and way harder to keep the key the entire way, because it's also a cursed key, which brings in Phanto, the mask that follows you around. Definitely not worth it there. All right, now we got the castle. We're fighting Wendy. This one's kind of an evolution of Meltdown Mountain, that vertical climb. But this time, everything is slippery. Every surface has ice block physics. So it's this one's pretty hard, so I'll have to focus up. So you gotta jump up those slopes there. Much slower to run up them. Missed the checkpoint. That's interesting. This is not intentional, but completely fine. We get one right here. So now we have one of the harder boss fights. If you don't get the quick hits, it becomes much, much harder. Nice. What are you doing with those snowballs? I need those. Nice. Okay. So that boss fight gets a lot harder if you don't get the quick hits because we got those fast-moving platforms which are icy, and Wendy has a giant muncher on her head which can easily crush you. So happy to get out of there without dying. Now we go into World 7. This is the collab world, so these are levels that Ross made in collaboration with other people. See, this first one was collab with Dan from Game Grumps. Danny Scream Chain. This one's kind of interesting. Just barely dodged that boom. Passengers of this train do not like that I'm here. Use those crates to get enough height to get into the clear pipe and move forward. Okay, now we're fighting Pom Pom, who's got the clones. Only one of them is real. There it is. Nice. Sometimes if you're unlucky, the real one will spawn outside of the room, but just wait near the middle and usually it works. Okay, next up, this was a collab with Alpharad. And it's a night ground level which has lots of changes to some of the objects, including spike balls. So instead of just rolling forwards, they will follow you now. See it more clearly with this one. If I stay to the right of it, start moving to the right. So now you see down there with the note block, you were supposed to guide the spike ball. Ow. You're supposed to guide the spike ball down into that note block, but I go down there myself. It's a pretty difficult skip there. There we go. And one last trick, we gotta fling this spike ball into the on-off switch. There we go. So that was the night ground theme. There's a bunch of other changes when you add the nighttime to different themes. So this next one is night sky, which gives you low gravity. We saw before the night snow gives you slippery floors, night water or night ghost house gives you the dark levels. This one's low gravity, collab with Gerard the Completionist, with the Frog Mario power up on land. So this one's very hard. This upcoming jump is very tough. You need just enough height. And we have the clear condition to keep the Frog Mario power up, so cannot get hit at all here. Okay. There we go. We got 2 more left in World 7. So this one was in the night sky theme. This next one is also low gravity. This one's a collab with Pangaea Panga, prominent Kaizo maker, so we see a little bit of a Kaizo inspiration in this level. Painbow Road. Using these Mecha Koopas repeatedly as platforms to bounce across. We don't need checkpoints. This next part, we got to use these couple of gamers, bounce across. This next one will go just low enough. They can make that jump there. There we go. You can see in the in-game time in just a second, you'll see the world record's 39 seconds somehow, compared to 46. So how do you save 7 seconds there? Well, it turns out that you can actually skip all those boom booms and just make one jump across to that last Mech Koopa. But it's basically pixel perfect to make that. So I've only ever got it once. So not quite marathon safe. All right, and this last one, this one's not a collab. This is just a level made by Ross. Some tight platforming. Lots of lemmies shooting our bouncy balls at me. Can't stick around any of these platforms for too long because I'll hit the bumpers or the saws underneath them. Now we have this boss fight. These can't hurt me, but it's very dangerous. If you see in the middle of the room, there's that little gap. There's a saw down there. If you ever get hit to the side, it's pretty likely to go straight into it. So my strategy is just stay to the right side of the left side of the room. Because on the other side, there's actually another pair of lemmies, another big one and a small one. So if I keep them off screen, that limits the number of things I have to worry about. It is a pretty long survival. You see the launcher underneath the ground there. Hold on. Okay. Okay, nice. So that launcher down there shoots a shell, which is racing along the bottom of the screen, breaking bricks, kind of acting as a timer. Eventually, it'll hit a on-off switch, which will give me a key right about now. Oh, no, never mind. So I didn't see it happen, but the shell can actually collide with one of the small balls. Can actually end up down in the pit, and if it collides with the shell, then the shell gets destroyed and has to shoot again. Thankfully, that didn't go too bad. We're already at the end. We only have 5 levels left going into World 8. It's a very, very difficult ending here. All the levels are very long, too. This first one is Companion Spring Forever. Next installment in the Companion Spring series. One that Ross is somewhat well known for. So basically we have to carry the spring the entire way through the level. We can use it in a couple different ways. Not this one. This one. We can use it to bounce the spike ball, and actually I can wait right here and it does not hit me if I'm ducking. So I hit these shells, leave the spring in just the right spot so it opens up the path for me. This level does not have a clear condition, but it basically does, because you have to keep the spring the entire time. And there's no checkpoint. I'll try to get that magic Koopa to shoot that brick. There's a 1 in 7 chance it'll give you a propeller mushroom. I've never gotten it, but it's worth a shot. Oh, okay. I gotta be careful now. Now that I'm small, I can no longer break these bricks, so my floor is disappearing around me. These red launchers shoot fireballs across, so if you wait in front of them, then it won't shoot. Okay. Now we use the spring and get out of there. All right, next up we have You Are the Monster. So we have, we've seen Yoshi when we using him. It's kind of a, use him as a double jump. Drop him in the lava a bunch of times, but gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, nice. Time that fireball to hit that bomb from far away. We'll go for one more skip here. Instead of hitting that bomb with a fireball, I just make the jump. So normally that would hit the switch, which would leave a saw down in the lava for me. Uses the platform, but just barely make that jump. And also it leads to another skip right here when I get up here. The on-off switch never got changed back, so now I can just go through instead of hitting it again. Uh-oh, okay. Ditched Yoshi a little early there. All right. So now Yoshi wants his revenge. We've disposed of quite a few in that level, so our punishment is the longest level in the game. Monster Cage. Basically, this will be a series of survival rooms. While Yoshi watches from the side. So you'll see a lot. I'll use ground pound cancels. It's a very helpful movement to stall in the air as long as you can, or stop yourself, your horizontal speed. You'll see I'll twirl a lot too. There you can really tell I'll do the ground skull. Just barely get out of the way of those, the burners and the fire. Still no checkpoint yet. If I die here, I have to go all the way back. So each of these rooms have the launcher shooting a shell in the corner, which breaks those bricks underneath the screen. See, the sledge bro stuns you there. Usually would not be safe, but first one is it's fine. So you just got to make sure you're in the air when the sledge bro does the stomp. Okay. We got a different kind of room. Got these falling saws. But I have memorized the pattern, so I know where to go. One more room before the checkpoint. All right, nice. Now we have one last survival section, combining all the falling saws, and we have Yoshi. Okay. The ice floor makes it tricky to move, so you'll see I do a lot of jumps whenever I start my movement. All right, are you ready? We got 2 levels left. All right, this next level is probably the hardest one. Is the rubber rush. The long line of boss fights, one after the other. Definitely gonna have to focus here. Of course. That's a pretty tough one. That spike ball gets sent at max speed. Okay, nice. There we go. Much more clean. Really, we just leave in that pit there. And this one's pretty tough. Okay, still got one more for the checkpoint. Feeling pretty good. All right, this next part. Well, this first one's pretty easy. Ludwig, not really sure what he's doing here. There we go. Take it, get rid of the floor there. Do a spin jump up there just in case. And Bowser Jr. makes an appearance. Briefly. All right. One level left. Rising up out of the lava. Get the face off against Bowser. This one's also very hard, so I'm going to focus. Bowser's supposed to be chasing me here, but I'm leaving him in the dust. Oh! Wow. The very last jump before the checkpoint. Bit unfortunate there, but hopefully I'll get here. There we go. All right, Bowser, let's do this. You there? I'd like to fight you. No. He doesn't want to come down. There he is. Come on. Yes, let's go. Time is when I hit the X. And time. All right. And that is Super RubberRoss World. So I just want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for cheering me on. Thanks to my parents for coming and bring me here. And everyone in the Mario Maker community, shout outs. And that's it for me. Thank you guys.